Hi guys, Cryptogasm here for Cryptogasmic. As discussed yesterday, we're going to do an update review every day until we work out exactly what's happening with Bitcoin. I'm not looking at any other altcoins at the moment. I mean, you can see here, everything is in red at the moment. So we're really focusing on Bitcoin. The only crypto I'm holding at the moment, the only alt I'm holding, sorry, is Bitcoin Gold. And and as you can see, it's not performing very well. So I'm just going to hold on to that for now. Everything else I've been stopped out on, Litecoin, OMG, XRP, all of the XLM, all of the alt trades. I got completely out of those, so I'm only holding very small amounts, and those are the amounts that I lock away into my check in 1 year kind of bag. So at the end of the day, the whole market is going to revolve around Bitcoin. All right. If Bitcoin pumps, everything else is going to pump. And until Bitcoin sorts itself out, I'm just going to check the coin market cap. I haven't checked that today yet. Yeah, I mean, we're going between $100 billion a day, which is really, really strange. So what I see is happening is this. I just see a lot of people making a lot of money at the moment. People are going in on the down cycles, and they're selling at the top on the resistance level. So the money's kind of coming in and out all at the same time. Now, as we've been talking for a few weeks, let me just get rid of some of these things here. Let me get rid of the volume for now. Right, so we'll just try and clear it up and start from the beginning. So very clearly, obviously, we had the big rise up, went sideways in the cloud, and we fell through, and we've been trading in the bottom of the cloud since early January. Okay, so if we're looking at the end of an emotional cycle here and the beginning of a new one, this could play out anywhere from a few weeks to 6 months. Okay, if we remember in 2014, that took about a year and a half. And as I've always told you, these things don't just go from 20 grand to 3 grand overnight. You know, this could play out something like, you know, this, and we just step ladder our way down. And a roll back down to $3,000 from where we started at the beginning of last year is within the specs of a fair retracement. It's probably going to be like an 88% retracement. If we do get down there, it's going to create some really cool opportunities to buy. I mean, I think even around this mark, the 6.7, creates great opportunities to buy. And as I said in my review yesterday, I can do these moves from 6.8 to 11.12, back down to 6, back up to 10. I can play these trades every week. Give me these trades every week. If we can have a swing of $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 on Bitcoin over 10 days, I'll do that for the rest of my life, no problem. So we've got to look at it, and the way I'm kind of looking at it is we've got this channel here, these two yellow lines, that we really need to keep an eye on. So originally when we came in here at the 6,800 mark, we set different levels. We broke through that 8,400. I remember calling it, that was the first level. And we went right up through there. We had this head and shoulders in here. Right. And once we broke that 8,400 mark, off we went. Okay. So everything's kind of been following the analysis that we've been doing, and we've just got to continue to watch this in stages because we're definitely on the right-hand side of the trade. There's only two sides to a trade, really, the left and the right. So this is the bull side of the trade and the bear side of the trade. So we're still traveling right down here, and as you can see, our top trend line, the yellow line on the top, just here, right? We come up, and I very clearly said 11,400 to 11,800 was going to be the area that I was looking to take some profit. And if we broke through back then, we had our other trend lines, then we were looking to continue, but we found resistance right on that trend line. And what's happened is we've bounced straight back down, and we're now looking at the cloud as an example of kind of, or as a reference of what could happen. So I like the fact that there's some green painted in the future here. That's telling me we could come down, go sideways. Okay, so we've got this shorter term downtrend line here. Now this is my last line of defense is in this green box here. So I've stopped out on I've placed my sells on this trade at somewhere here just around about 11. I took some, then I took some more here around about 10.4, and I've got my last sells on this trade just in here around about the 9,800 mark. I did remove them just for a little bit, and I'm going to move them down probably around about this 9,400, right on this trend line here. So I'm kind of hoping for two things, or not hoping, but I'm thinking one of two things are going to happen here. We are either going to bounce off here. We have some areas of confluence. We have the cloud, we have the trend line, and I think if I put a fib on it, we're going to probably retrace somewhere in there as well. So I'm hoping we're going to come off of there and maybe travel back up and see what happens again at this line here. So we might get a bounce here back up to 10.5. So I've removed my stop loss from that 9,800 spot at the moment until I see what happens here. I've got enough profit that I'm willing to let my last little bit run down closer to 9,000 as we get down into this cloud. And then, depending on what happens at the bottom of the cloud, I'll see whether I'm going to get back in here or down here. But I'm kind of like looking, I've taken my profits and I'm looking at this last level. And you can see the areas, let me just get rid of this. Right. So we're basically kind of looking at these downward trends right now, okay? And we're looking for areas of confluence that kind of confirmed several sort of things. So you can kind of see here as well, this last area here on the other cycle was an area where we kind of went sideways and then we got support out of there. And it matches up here at the bottom of our cloud, sorry, with the top of our cloud. Let me just put that back in there. So I'm really watching what happens here now. I'm kind of hoping that we get a bounce back up here, and then we'll see what happens in this channel. Now, we could easily just be working our way down like this. See what I mean? Right? So we need to keep an eye on this channel on both ends, to be honest. And I'm watching it on the 6-hour time frame at the moment. So I'm kind of hoping we're going to get a bounce here around about 6,500. 6,000, yeah. Sorry, 9,500. And test that and see we're going to come back up and try and test in here somewhere over the next few days, 10,005, 10,006. And I'm going to see what happens around this area, because if we see a resistance here, then I'll probably look to sell here, which means I get an extra $1,000 per coin here. And I've already taken the profit. So I'm okay to, if I got it wrong, that we break down into here. And, you know, maybe even, I might even let it roll to 8,600. So I'm still up $2,000 a coin on the remaining coins. So either way, I'm kind of in a win-win. And then I think if we break through these resistance levels and down here, we may come back down and retest the bottom in here. And obviously, then we'll be into a position where we're looking to buy. So right now, I'm not in a position of buying. I'm looking to hold or sell. And I would rather buy, to be brutally honest, once we've got confirmation above here and we're holding it. I'd rather pay 11,000 with some kind of confirmation that we're on our way back up than pay 9,000 not knowing whether it's going to drop back down to 6. So for right now, the way we're playing this, and this analysis is only valid if you got into the trade at the same point as that I did. If you got in at 10,000, and then what I'm telling you now is not valid. We're kind of in different trades at that moment. So I'm just watching it there at the moment. If we look at some of our indicators, we can see we're kind of on the floor with the 6 hour and still falling, which is why I'm going to wait and see what happens on this trend line here. 12 hour falling. And the daily and the 3 daily, so the daily is still pretty oversold and coming down. However, 3 day and the weekly are looking like we've got strength. So my analysis on all of this right now, let me just have a quick look here. A little bit of a downtrend just starting to print. So we're going through this, but yet our daily, our 3 daily has still got plenty of room to go. So we need to see what happens with the momentum, but I don't see it falling fast to the floor until we break through these zones. If we fall through back here and we're back down testing 8 again, then we're probably going to fall back down through here, and then we'll have to look at those levels a little bit closer as we get there. So I could imagine this coming down here and riding sideways here, testing $9,000 and playing in this area over the next couple of days. And then we have to see what kind of happens in the next day or two. So I'm not panicking just yet. I mean, I don't panic, but there's no reason to panic, I don't think, right now. Maybe some people will be setting a lot of buys along here to get another bounce back up, and they might sell. So a lot of people are just playing the swing game at the moment. There's absolutely no value in alt trading at the moment. If we get the alt trading wrong, then basically your alts are losing, your Bitcoin's losing, US dollar, everything's kind of going south. So we got out of Litecoin, we made some money on Litecoin, and they're all following the same pattern, so we don't really need to go through them all because they're, you know, again, I just see really nice buying opportunities come up. Dash, you know, I refused, I got in down here, I sold around 700-800, and I just refused to chase this, and I bought back in about down here. You know, it was an amazing opportunity to get back under Dash under 400. We sold up here as we got resistance. So we made a couple $100 a coin there, and I've put some aside. So we may get a double bottom and get another chance back down here to test 400 on this line, on Dash. So there really is some really good buying opportunities. Ripple has lost support completely. I broke even on that one. I made no money on Ripple. We got in under $1, stopped out on the way back down. So let's just focus on Bitcoin at the moment, guys. I'm not going to be sending any signals for any alt trades at the moment. Just purely watching Bitcoin, and if we can make money on these swings, and even if we play the shorter time, we can see that the 38.2 just on this recent move kind of falls back in line in here. So I'm more than willing to just wait a day or two and see if we get some sort of bounce off of here, and I may look to sell as we come back up and test 11,000 here. Or maybe I'll sell half and just gradually turn it into US dollars, and if we break through and we get some sort of support, again, I won't chase it. You know, we could go something like this, bounce off of here, hit here, and if we break through, I will then see what happens on the retracement, and then maybe we can look to grab it there on our way up. So we're just playing it in steps and stages and ebbs and flows, and just like a step ladder. We're either going to take a step ladder back up, or we're going to take a step ladder back down. The longer term picture is looking okay. The weekly and the 3 day is still looking kind of strong. So we could be just cooling off a little bit from this. You know, I mean, it made nearly 100% profit here in 10 days. It's really massive gains, guys, and it was a great opportunity to make money. So let's keep an eye on the 9,500 mark. And that doesn't mean that if it quickly falls down and everybody starts panicking, oh, it's below 9.5. I mean, let's see where it opens and closes on the 6 hour candles, and we'll make a decision from there. If we start to break down below this resistance line, then I don't see any other resistance points through there until kind of, maybe we come in and do a double bottom on here. So at that point, then I'll be looking for a sell. I'll be looking for a reversal, and we'll be looking to get back in. And we've got to be careful that we don't bleed all the way back down. All right. So that's basically it. See you in the chat room. If you didn't get out, I would hold, and maybe I think you'll get another better opportunity to sell. We're hoping for a bounce back on here. And if we break through, then I think I'll just get out, sit in the US dollar, and we'll sit and we'll just wait for some more buying opportunities. All right, guys, have a really good night wherever you are. Be kind to each other. Be kind to strangers. Be kind to everybody. Be kind to animals. Be kind to the earth. Just be kind and help each other out. All right? Take it easy and see you soon.